Imagine investing in these superstars before they ever broke out. This is the place. This is where you come to know who to invest in on Mojo, the sports stock market. So make sure you tap in. The opening bell, hosted by Ray GQ and your boy Jay Rich. Let's make some money.
Let's get it. Happy Monday, December 26, 2022. It's your boy Ray G, joined as always by my man Jay Rich over here on the Mojo YouTube channel. And this is the opening bell. Merry Christmas to everybody out there that celebrates the Christmas holiday. That was yesterday. Happy Kwanzaa to you all who celebrate that. If you don't celebrate any of that, happy football day. We had football Saturday, Sunday. We got football game tonight, the Chargers versus the Colts. Jay, how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm good, man. I'm good. We had a very eventful Saturday. We had a sort of eventful Sunday, depending on how you look at it. And of course, Ray, you just can't forget about what happened on Thursday. I know it was a few days ago. But some things transpired. Some news, rumor mills swirling from Thursday. I don't know if you want to get into it right off the jump, or if you want to take a look at what the market's looking like, but there's some things happening in New York. Some good things, some bad things. Depends on whether you're looking at the Jets or the Giants. Both teams, though.
Both teams have quarterbacks that seem to be trending in opposite directions, both New York teams. Jay, it's just, we're at that point of the season where we've got to start thinking ahead. And when you're looking on Mojo, did you see that we had one of the largest single depositor over on Mojo last week? Shout out. How much was it? How much did you put in? How much did you put? You put 100 in? Was that you?
I told them if they bring it to Ontario, I'm gonna beat it. They
put
in 100K, and I don't know if it was the same user. But you saw someone threw like 50K on Richie James.
I saw somebody put like 20-something K on Daniel Jones, and I'm like, let's get it, baby. Let's get it.
Making moves.
Mojo,
beautiful.
Big moves over on Mojo. Make sure you use you sign up, download the app. Even if you can't play it yet, you can't participate yet. It's coming, baby. It's coming. And Zach Wilson, let's just get into it. Somebody that we have been tracking and following all season. Zach Wilson, Jay, got the start on Thursday night, and he did not finish the game. And it was not due to injury. It was due to performance. He was replaced by Chris
Streveler, CFL MVP. I don't know what year it was, but yeah, it's Chris Streveler, the preseason All-American. Chris Streveler, every preseason, Chris Streveler goes nuts. But I believe Joe Flacco was inactive in this game. Mike White, obviously inactive with his broken ribs. But yeah, Zach Wilson, 9 for 18, a pick, 3 sacks, QBR of 5.1. Not the lowest of the weekend.
No,
but
not the lowest of the weekend, but also not good. A QBR of 5.1 for the second-year signal caller who was replaced. And his replacement, who played like all of 11 minutes, almost had more passing yards. He had more completions. Wasn't sacked. Just where do you go? I'm looking in the marketplace right now. You want to take a guess at what Zach Wilson, what he's going for right now, Jay? What his price is?
It's got to be under $20. It has to be at this point.
He's sub 20. It's $15.
Where we at, Ray?
$15 for
$15
for Zach Wilson. This is
Ray. Who would you rather have, Drake May or Zach Wilson?
Oh, come on, man. You know the end. This is this fall. His year price, he is down 56.69%.
Oh,
this is
my goodness.
Jay. $36.06 a year ago, $15.52 right now. Over the course of a month. God. If you just remember when we thought it was all bad when he got benched and we're like, oh, he can't go any lower. Yeah. Like I want to let it flow. Well, over the past month, he's down 30% in the past. Literally, you could have shorted him the moment he got benched. 30%.
And still make a ton of money.
And still making a ton of money. What are the reports? You said there's some reports about Zach Wilson. What are the reports here?
I mean, Jay Glazer said his time in New York is up. And the way he's playing, it's hard to disagree. Right. Every time, not every time, but he's winning games, we can't dispute that. But statistically, not getting it done on just about any level. He had that 300-yard game. Outside of that, though, just awful. the Jaguars defense is fine. It's getting better. It's much improved, but it's not top 10 and even in the NFL. Like there's something wrong with Zach Wilson. Is it confidence? It's not the weapons around him, because plenty of players have thrown for yards and able to put up points in that offense. But if Jay Glazer's saying his time is up, I have to believe there's a lot of truth to that. If we hear to report that his time is up, it should be up. Like we've been saying this for months. The question is, would they actually move on? Do they have the guts to move on from Zach Wilson, who they drafted number 2 overall 2 years ago?
How bad does that look when the number 1 and number 2 overall pick face off on Thursday Night Football? And it wasn't like T-Law played some phenomenal game. He, the elements were bad. He was fine, but he looked so much better than Zach Wilson. It wasn't even like you didn't need to be some football aficionado, connoisseur guru to be like, this dude has it, this dude doesn't. This is my question to you, Jay. Is it still an opportunity to short Zach Wilson? Is it still currently an opportunity to short Zach Wilson? Can he go lower than where he is right now? And Jay, I'm just gonna tell you, he's priced lower than what New England Patriots quarterback?
Oh, Mac Jones. Oh boy.
Well, of course he's lower than Mac Jones.
Oh, Bailey Zappi?
Brian Hoyer.
Oh, okay. Well, Brian Hoyer's value is locked in. So So the question, Ray, is how much value is he projected to get the rest of his career? So how much does he have banked versus how much is he projected? Yeah.
Zach Wilson currently has banked $5.53, future value $9.99.
So they're saying he needs to play at least 2 more seasons.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, actually 3 more, because his average is 3.2 banked per season. So yes, 2 more seasons. 2 more seasons.
2 more. Because we may get into Baker Mayfield, but it's like 2 more seasons. Dude's got 6 touchdowns this season, 7 picks, QBR of 37.2.
37.2. Can you short Zach Wilson? Can you short Zach Wilson?
You can. Because he's probably going to get benched, and I think that's the reason why you short him. But I think it's still a short-term short. Because his price is so low. Like, Ray, he does anything good, he's probably back up $20. We talked about the $20 threshold for starting quarterbacks is there.
I don't know, Jay. I think
I don't think I could do it. But
I think he's quickly turning into one of the most hated players in the NFL. I mean, I watched that game. He threw 3 incompletions. The boober, every time he ran on the field, Jay, they were booing him. Running on the field, they were booing him. Like,
they hate him.
They don't like him. They don't like him.
How can you blame him, though? He's the reason they lose.
Is he the most hated Wilson in the NFL?
So here's what I will say. The New York fan base, much more passionate. I was maybe not disrespect to Denver, but much more passionate, it seems, than the Denver fans base. And, you talk about Denver and their Wilson that they got over there. It is not looking good, but they are stuck with him. And at least the New York Jets fan base can get out of Zach Wilson. But, Ray, where the hell do the Denver Broncos go now? Because they got slapped up. We can talk about Baker Mayfield on the other side of the ball. 51 points as well. Russ got benched, sort of. I mean, it was a blowout, so they just played Brett Rippon to end the game. But which one's more hated? It's a toss-up. The Jets fan base hates Zach Wilson, but at least they have some hope on the other end if they let him go. Russell Wilson, though, he's locked in, baby. $250 million guaranteed, new contract, new coach, new owner. Imagine buying the Denver Broncos for $4 billion.
And this is what you
have
get?
250 loaded in this guy. Awful.
Well, let's talk about Russell Wilson. They were embarrassed on the road versus the Rams. I mean, Baker Mayfield looked like the guy that should have had $250 million, and Russell Wilson looked like the one that should have been shipped around from team to team over the past couple of seasons. Not good, Jay. His QBR was what? What was Russell Wilson's QBR? Because he wasn't Zach Wilson with the lowest. It was old Russ. What was Russ's QBR?
3.5, which feels impossible. 3.5. It's for people who don't understand. It's out of 100. Like. You can only go so low in 3.5. He still had 200 yards. He still had a touchdown. So the fact that he's still at 3 tells you how bad he was. 6 sacks for 40 yards, 3 picks. He was terrible.
He was bad.
Ray, what what does the Denver Broncos team do with Nathaniel Hackett, with Russell Wilson? They got Jerry Jeudy, who had 100 yards, had a great game again. Cortland Sutton got some stuff done. Greg Dulcich scored a touchdown. They have the pieces, but the team just stinks. And they stink because of Russell Wilson. Maybe it's Nathaniel Hackett. But what does the Denver Broncos organization do? Do they clean house? They can't get rid of Russell Wilson. He's like $120 million in dead cap. What do they do?
Jay, I'm looking. What do we do on Mojo? That's what I want. I don't know what Denver does. What do we do? I'm looking at Russ right now. He's only a few dollars behind Justin Herbert in value. That tells me that you need to be going to buy some freaking Justin Herbert. That's what this tells me. Justin Herbert. Do you know he's only got $21 in bank value on Mojo? You know how much future value is in Justin Herbert?
He's the highest, I think, on Mojo right now, right? He's like 70-something. Yeah.
$70.39.
And he playing tonight. You know that boy can sling it.
Russell Wilson, $72.34 in bank value. They're saying $14 in future value for Russell Wilson. $14.
So
and here's the thing.
Seasons?
Here's my thing. As bad as he's been playing, this is why I kind of don't want to short Russell Wilson. Over the last month, how much do you think he's down?
10%? 5%?
3.62%. That's it.
What?
Yeah.
He's so bad.
Over the course of a year.
This is like this is what they expect from him now.
This is why I don't, over the last 24 hours, he's only down not even 1% since the game, which tells me maybe one or two things. Maybe a lot of people have not invested in Russell Wilson, period, right? So it's not
either way.
Maybe that's just the case. Or people that have him, they're like, look, he's already banked this much value. I'll just hold him and cash out, right? How much he's playing this awful and it's not even tanking. So maybe the opportunity is to get rid of Hackett. We know Russell Wilson's going to be the quarterback there. At least we believe that to be the case. So maybe it can only get better from here. But when I'm looking at who he's priced behind, I'm telling you, this screams go. He's priced higher than Joe Burrow right now. You know, like that's where his mojo. Like this tells me that I want to go get some. I want to go get some Herbert. I'm looking at Joe Burrow. He's only banked $19.45, $64.39 of future mojo value anticipated in Joe Burrow. This just tells me go long Justin Herbert, go long Joe Burrow. You know, you look at the quarterbacks in the NFL and the state of the quarterback position, Jay. What are you doing with Baker? I asked you earlier on our show on Wake Up, what's the likelihood that Baker Mayfield's a starting quarterback in 2023? And if you're telling me that he's got a 50% chance or higher to be a starting quarterback next year, you know what his mojo price is right now? It's $28.69. He's priced lower than
right around there.
Caleb Williams and a little bit higher than Justin Fields, just a tad bit. Like, you know, there's not a ton of future value projected in Baker Mayfield, but $5.15. Can Baker Mayfield earn a starting job next year and see his value kind of take a bump up?
I definitely think he can. You know, I think, you look at these games and the way he's playing, the season's not over yet. So if he's got $5 in value projected for the rest of his career, that's probably a little bit more than a season for him, which is about what we're looking at. I think he's kind of on a season to season basis. But to your point, Ray, he's playing his way into competing for a job next year. Now he's not going to be given the starter's role more likely than not. I really hoped that Matthew Stafford would retire and he could, stay in this Rams offense. I think it's a great spot for him. He's already seen the success. Cam Akers has played great, Tyler Higbee. And then obviously if he got back Cooper Kupp and, some of these other players, he would be in really good shape. So I look at the situation now and I say, you know what? I think a team is going to look at Baker, say, first overall pick, talented, accurate. He just needs to be in the right system. And we've seen him succeed now in multiple spots, again, in short bursts. But we've seen the ability and why he was the first overall pick, right? He still has some IQ and he can still read defense. He can still play well, deliver the ball when he needs to. He's not throwing to these great players, Brandon Powell, Ben Skoranek. Like we talk about Daniel Jones and his weapons. We talk about some of these other teams. He's not playing with like Cooper Kupp and they're just making him look great. So I think there is a world where he definitely can earn some value, get past $30, $35. But again, the problem is the contract security we're not going to get from Baker unless he really shows out far beyond this season. If you wanted to buy it, I don't hate it. At $28, I think he's It's iffy, right? Because he probably should be closer to like 25, and then I'd say screaming buy. If he's up over 30, I'd say maybe we hold off. But at $5 future value, I think that's a pretty reasonable price for a player I think will continue to play. Ray, and it may not be the whole season, but I think he showed he's a competent backup. Like if he ended up being a Colt McCoy type the rest of his career, but still play, 5, 6, 7 more seasons as a guy who can come in, play with an offense. Like we've seen this before with plenty of quarterbacks. I think Baker Mayfield can be one of those guys. And at that point, $28 is pretty reasonable with only $5 in future value. That's basically 16, 17, 18 starts. And I think he can do that for the rest of his career.
It's just the quarterback position, man. We were talking about this earlier. The state of the position is so
bad,
volatile. It's so up and down. It's so week to week. Jay, 6 weeks ago, we were talking about a quarterback out of Florida that plays in the state of Florida being an MVP candidate this year. And yesterday, he goes out there, throws 3 picks, and people are calling for his head in Miami. Yeah. And I'm talking about Tua Tagovailoa. I'm looking at his value. And what do we do with these guys? And we keep talking about the quarterbacks because these are the guys these are the market movers, right? These are the FANG stuff. These are Justin Jefferson's awesome. He's priced at 20. I think Justin Jefferson's like $27 right now. You know what I mean? Like, and he's $27.39. You look at Jefferson over the last month, Jay, he's only up 0.45%, not even a 4% over the last month. You're talking about a player who's going to go for 2,000 yards. A player is probably going to win Offensive Player of the Year. And he's priced lower than goddamn what quarterback did we just talk about? Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield.
You know what I mean? So I'm focusing on the FANG stock positions, which is the quarterback. So back to Tua. Where are we at with Tua? Right now, $39.06 over the last month. In the same amount of time that we had talked about him potentially being an MVP candidate, he's down 2%. 2.25% for Tua, $39.06. Lower than Carson Wentz and a smidge higher than Bryce Young. I don't know what to do with these QBs, Jay.
It's difficult, right? So for more context, right? 10th in the league in passing yards, 3,500. 7th in touchdowns with 25. 8 interceptions, 13th in the league. And 4th in the league in QBR,
and
right?
people want him gone.
Okay, that's fine. But Ray, here, and I feel like I know what you're going to say to this question. But I think right now, can you confidently say Tua gets extended?
No.
And that's the problem. We can't confidently say today Tua's going to get extended. Joe Burrow, getting extended. Justin Herbert, getting extended. Jalen Hurts, getting extended. Tua Tagovailoa, one of the few players in his draft class, we don't know if he really stinks it up to end this season. Then we're back into
the
franchise
playoffs,
saying
stinks it up, missed the playoffs,
stinks it up, loses key games. Yeah, sure, he had that hot stretch. He randomly beat Baltimore in a massive game. And you look at his team, right? You see, and again, it's a very harsh criticism of a great player, but you see the way his teammates lift him up. You see the way Jalen Waddle takes a play that's a 20-yard pass and turns it into an 84-yard touchdown because he is great. Not necessarily because Tua is great. Same case with Tyreek Hill, except he threw a nice deep ball to Tyreek Hill. Tyreek should have scored, got to the 1-yard line. They scored anyways. So it's the combination of Tua's talent mixed with the system. But I think, unfortunately, it's been, 15 games, or for Tua, it's been about 12 games, 13 games of the limitations of the system at times. And you watch him play and you say, why did he throw that ball? Is he even looking at the defender? Is he making the right reads?
Right.
And that's where you question the longevity of a player like this, because he's making mistakes that a player who's been in the league for 3 years and is expected to be a $40, $50, $60 player shouldn't be making. And I think that's the problem for me. But where are you at with Tua? Because he's, like you said, very tough player to evaluate. Great statistical numbers, which we love in Mojo, but he's not getting it done. And if he ends the season as poorly as it's been, had a fine game against the Bills, but 2 stinkers on the road, comes back home, stinks it up again. If he closes the season, he's in trouble.
He's one I'm fine going long on. I mean, he's only banked $12.48, priced lower right now than Carson Wentz, and he's got $26.58 in future value. And I believe that's probably, I think he may have a little more than that. I mean, you just read this. I mean, he's playing phenomenal football this year. He had a bad game. He threw 3 picks, right? He threw 3 picks. He had a bad game, but that Josh Allen threw 2, right? And I get it that he's more accomplished, more proven, but interceptions occur. Interceptions happen. I'm trying to find and exploit the value in the market. And the quarterback position, that's the one where you can find those exploits. You can really I think Justin Herbert, every Monday we do this show and there's a Monday Night Football game. We talk about a player that you want to go long in. And normally they're dart throw kind of guys. Oh, go get DeAndre Carter. Rashid Shaheed. I'm telling you, Jay, it's Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert is, even with his high share price right now at $91, Jay, he's only banked 21.70. Like, this is legit 401k type shit right here. You just go long Herbert and you sit back and you don't worry about it. Let's see. The multiplier on Herbert right now, 5x.
Whew.
Jay.
Take it.
5x. Yes.
And he's having a down season.
And he's having
for what we kind of expect of him, he's kind of having a down season.
Yes.
Only 4,000 yards, 21 touchdowns, 9 picks. But again, dealing with some of his players being injured. But now that he's back, right? He's had 300 yards in 3 straight games. The touchdowns are down. I don't know why they're down, but they're down. But tonight, playing the Colts, we'll see how he looks. I think that they just changed the style of the offense. It's not all on Herbert anymore. But the dude is 24 years old, right? 24.
No.
He's gonna be a Charger forever. Like, you're looking next, Phillip Rivers. He's 38.
Yeah,
but you look at these new schedules, 17 game seasons. He's gonna be 5K. He's a guy on pace 5K every year. Yeah. Right up there with Mahomes. 5K a season. Yep. Gonna be just bombing it. He's gonna have his weapons for a long time. They're all signed for a long time.
New weapons coming,
Oh yeah.
Offensive line has been wrecked. It's been a down season. 5x multiplier on Justin Herbert. I'm just telling you right now, that is I know it's high, but what's $91 today? And let's take a look at the highest priced quarterbacks in the market right now. Brady at 174 a share, Mahomes at 140, Rodgers at 114, Josh Allen at 101, Matt Ryan at 98, Matthew Stafford at 92, and then Justin Herbert at $91. Jay, go long.
There's no reason he can't be Matt Stafford. There's no reason at all. Matt Stafford did win a Super Bowl, and I think that probably boosted his value a little bit. But there's no reason he can't have the same career type, right? Statistically, he's going to be a monster. Like, you look at Justin Herbert, and if it wasn't for Mahomes, he'd be the guy breaking all these passing records over the very, very long term, right? Brady, his records are going to be very difficult to ever beat. But beyond that, you look at like Breeze's record when he was holding the record. Like, Mahomes and Herbert are the guys that will challenge for those records. And you think about that standpoint on Mojo, those are the guys you want. Like, Mahomes is obviously phenomenal, but you don't need Herbert to be a $140 player. He gets to $110, $120. Yeah. You're still banking 25%. You throw that 5x, you're over 100% on Justin Herbert. And that's now.
And that's
very
now.
Undervalued.
Very undervalued. I'm looking at it. I still think, we talked about this on the last show that maybe it was the last opportunity to get Jalen Hurts sub $60 and you got more of a discount. He got injured. We didn't know that the shoulder was messed up, but $58.47 for Hurts. He's only got $14 in bank value in Mojo. $43 in future value for Jalen Hurts, who's going to get damn near a $300 million extension. Jay, this is the exploit in the market. This is where you take advantage. And I'm looking. Let's just see what the multiplier is on Hurts. 5x.
What? Man. 5x? Dude, you got to take that.
5.
You got to take it. You got to take it. He's a monster. He insane.
I need Mojo to come to Texas. I'm not going to be able to put $100,000 in there, but
we'll split it.
I don't want to say anything is a sure thing. Nothing is a sure thing. Nothing is a for sure lock. Nothing in whether you're playing the Mojo market, the stock market. Nothing is a sure thing. But man, when I'm looking at the Herberts and the Hurtses, like, these are players that I would confidently put a large amount of money on going long. Give me the 5x multiplier. And I would just hold and let my portfolio grow and grow and grow, because I know what I'm getting out of those quarterbacks over the long haul. So we talk about the Chargers and the Colts tonight, Jay. My buy, and I know it's pricey, but it's worth it. Justin Herbert. Go long,
definitely.
Throw the 5X multiplier on it. I know it's a pricey recommendation, but I think anybody out there, you will be very happy a year, 2 years, 3 years from now, and I'm holding. I am $70 in future value. I mean, literally, Jay, I want to take a trip to damn New Jersey tomorrow to load up on. We're going to figure it out. Mojo, we're going to figure it out. I need Herbert in my portfolio. I need him and Hurts in my portfolio ASAP. Jay, give us somebody tonight. Indy, LA, go long. Who you shorting? Can you? Where are you at with these?
I'm looking at Nick Foles.
Don't.
And I'm trying to. But no, Ray, would you short Nick Foles today?
Why?
That's the question for me.
Give me the story behind that.
I think they're going to run the ball a lot. You know, you look at the Chargers defense, they're one of the worst teams against the run. Now, they don't got a ton of running backs. Their running backs are all banged up. But the case would be Nick Foles is more of a game manager. And I mean, everyone loves a backup quarterback, right? Everyone loves Nick Foles. He's coming in, saving the day. Matt Ryan finally benched. No more Sam Ehlinger. Thank God. We got Nick Foles, Super Bowl winning quarterback, right? He can throw the ball. He can get the ball to Michael Pittman. I think I was going to pick anyone to go long on. It would be Michael Pittman. You know, you take the number one weapon on the Colts offense, assume that Nick Foles can deliver the ball to him. But outside of that, man, I don't think I'm looking at too many guys. I don't expect anything from this Colts offense. So if it was anybody, it'd be Michael Pittman. But I think your point about Herbert is well received, man. You have to take Herbert. You go Keenan Allen, Mike Williams.
No,
they're already highly priced guys. They're not worth it.
No,
I think Herbert's the guy. And if you really wanted to pick a Colts guy, it would probably be Pittman for me. I think he had 10 receptions for 66 yards last game. I think it was 10 for 60. So still a great game from Pittman. But again, another player highly priced, but he needs Foles to get him the ball. And I don't trust it. I think you go Herbert and that's it.
There it is. Go long, Justin Herbert, add the 5X multiplier. Still think there's opportunity to get Jalen Hurts. $58? I need a trip. We need to go to New Jersey. Let's just make it happen. I've already got the app downloaded. I don't have to worry about any of that. Make sure y'all download the app. If you live in New Jersey, Daniel Jones, real quick. You going long, Danny Dimes?
I think you have to, man. I think you have to. I think he's going to get extended. Yeah. If he's going to get extended, his price is going up.
Yeah.
He's not priced as a player who's going to get extended yet. And I think once that happens, you know, coming off 300-yard game, 323 yards, 3 touchdowns, like he was good. It was Minnesota. Minnesota's not good, but he was good. And you talked about it. The beat reporters said that it was his best game of the season.
Yeah, of some years. And he's doing it with Isaiah Hodgins.
Talking about players getting hot. And players getting cold. Daniel Jones is a guy who's heating up a little bit. And going into the playoffs, that added spotlight may be good for him and his future value.
If they make it, they're struggling right now. They're struggling. That the strength of that team is hurting them a little bit. But Daniel Jones definitely going long there. But if you're new to the show, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Turn those alerts on. That way, every time we drop content over here on the Mojo YouTube channel, you get it right to your phone, your iPad, your computer. However you stream your YouTube content, make sure you download the Mojo app. Make sure you tap into those multipliers. Use some of those multipliers. Works both ways, whether you're going long or shorting players. Make sure you tap into all the dope content creators that we have at Mojo. For Ray, for Jay, for Mojo, for the opening bell, we're out of this thing. Y'all enjoy your Monday. We out. Peace.